Keep them held high, cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up weekdays. Catch us live, somebody, let's go.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Pascal Show. We got a special Saturday morning edition for all y'all asses. I hope you guys are enjoying yourselves and having a great day, making it classy, making it dope. We got some interesting breaking news that happened overnight while we were resting our weary little heads on our pillows, ever so gently on our pillows. There's been some new information that I think we should look into. The Crumbleys have been found. That was really quick. Let me just say that really quick. That was hella fast, and I'm happy that it was hella fast. I'm gonna keep it straight funky with y'all. I'm happy that it was fast, as it should have been. You know, just saying. But they have been detained. There's some body cam footage. There's a little bit of some more information out here of other people that have been in their lives, like baby mamas and whatnot, that have certain things that they have to say about Ethan Crumbley's dad, James Crumbley. It's a very interesting series of events that have transpired. This thing is still going, still moving. They were finally arrested, y'all. I thought it was going to be, I'm really happy. I'm really happy that it didn't take forever. I'm really happy that I was wrong. I'm going to keep it straight funky. I'm really happy that I was wrong. Because I thought it was going to be, a day or two, but they found him late last night. So I'm very, very happy about this. So you were hearing it right here. I mean, I know some other places, some other shows, some other channels have talked about this already, breaking this news, but it is official. They have been found. They have been caught. There's body cam footage. There's all kinds of stuff. We are going to look at those things. But before we jump into all that, please do me a favor. Hit that like button down below. You know how it is. You know the procedure. Okay? Hit that like button down below. And don't forget to crush that subscribe button, all right? It'd be great to have you a part of the Pascal Show family. So crush it, destroy it, nuke it. You know how I always say that kind of stuff. So please do us that small favor and support this channel. Of course, we do have our membership part of our the membership on YouTube. If you want to join, click that join button down below. That'd be really, really great. Crush that join button. Also, we have our Patreon. So please join our Patreon. There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff and footage, photos, whatnot that we have over there while we are brewing on certain things. We're putting those things out overall on the Patreon. So if you want to be nosy and want to be more inquisitive in the on what happens after these lights and these cameras go off here, definitely join our Patreon. Okay, patreon.com/the Pascal Show. Anyway, we got to get into some things, but let me see. Infinite Content, what's up, man? Yo, Pascal Show. I was worried that some militia group was going to try to shelter them and ferry them out of the country to Canada. You know what? I was a little worried about the outcome too, because I'm starting to hear and learn more information about the parents, mainly the mama. Apparently the mom is more of the mastermind and more of the head of the house, I guess. She's the one who kind of runs things, and at least this is what I'm understanding and the vibe I'm getting so far about her and how she runs her household. It's very interesting. Like I said, this is a very interesting story, and we're only going to know more and more as we get further on. As we start to peek into what's going on, we're only going to find out more information. I know that for sure. But yes, we are now knowing that this family is something really interesting. And there's a lot of, like I said, the parents are very interesting. The son is a product of his own environment. Dead ass. I hate to say it like that, but these parents are definitely one of a kind. So I need to pull up a photo of them or something. You know what I mean? Like, I gotta show something, right? I mean, this is the photo that we're seeing right now. that's being shared all over the place right now. Them being detained, them being arrested. They have been found. There's body cam footage, which we are going to be looking at here in a second. Obviously, there's more information out here where there's been more interviews and more conversations with other people that knew the Crumbleys, especially a baby mama, or I guess an ex-wife. I don't even know. But James Crumbley's baby mama, because he has a son from a previous relationship, she had some things to say too. So like I said, we got a lot of stuff to look at. I'm not here for a long time, but we're here for a good time. And you guys are going to be here to get the information that you rightfully need. So be sure to hit that like button. Send those likes past 100 likes real quick. That will really mean a lot to me. And let's jump into this ish. Okay. Now, real quick, I got a super chat. Let me just pull this up really quick. Did they take him out for burgers? Great show. Johnny 718, bravo. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. I really do appreciate it. Like I said, I'm not usually on a Saturday, unless there's something big breaking happening. So I'm on right now. So do me that favor. Do me that small favor. Hit that like button down below as you guys start to file in, okay? Because I know you guys are all starting to file in, starting to hear about this. Like, whoa, they got arrested? Whoa, they got arrested? Bruh. They got arrested? Yes, they most definitely got arrested. So we got to jump into this. And again, thank you so much, Johnny 718, bravo, for the $2 super chat. So let's get into this. Okay. First, I want to pull up the video of them actually getting arrested. Okay. This is from CNN. But like I said, I think this is a good piece. Just to kind of warm us up, get us ready for this conversation. Like I said, it's this story is just crazy. This story is just crazy, y'all. It gets crazier and crazier. But let's take a look at this video from CNN. So it's a chunky one, but I think this is good for us to take a look at this. So check it out.
Morning and welcome to your new day. It is Saturday, December 4th. I'm Boris Sanchez.
And I'm Christy Paul. We begin with breaking news this morning. Jennifer and James Crumbley, the parents of the Michigan high school shooting suspect, are in police custody right now. This was after the pair evaded authorities for hours after they were charged with involuntary manslaughter yesterday. Police say they were found early this morning inside a building in Detroit, not far from where their vehicle was found. Listen.
Here, real quick. Sorry, I'm going to roll this back really quick, and it's just me poking fun because I can, and because these parents are terrible. But in the very beginning of this, right about here, I'm just going to put this on mute, but why is she covering her face? Everybody knows who she is. Everybody knows what she looks like. Like, somebody please explain to me, why do criminals do this? They hunch over, they try to put their head down in I don't know, to hide what they look like, but when it's like everybody and their mama already knows what you look like. They got mug shots, they got photos all over the place. Why are you hunched over? Like, Papa had the right idea. Look at him. He had the right idea. You know what I'm saying? He's like, you already know who I am. You already know who I is. Let's go. Like, it's like a weird ass perp walk, Johnny. It's a weird ass perp walk. It's like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this whole thing when we already know what you look like? Everybody in the mama knows who you are and what you look like. So why do that? The walk of shame. You just keep walking. You should have been doing the walk of shame yesterday when you were supposed to be at the place to turn yourself in at around 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time yesterday. And what happened? Y'all try to go out on a limb. Y'all try to kick rocks. And now you're trying to cover your face? Bruh. All right. I'm done. I'm going to continue. Jesus.
Police say they were found early this morning inside a building in Detroit, not far from where their vehicle was found. Listen to this.
We got a tip that they were here, or that possibly the fugitives were at this location. The vehicle was spotted. Our officers responded in a matter of minutes. When they got here, they set up a perimeter, did surveillance. We notified and activated our Metro Division, our special response team. They came out and they were able to take the fugitives into custody. Now, attorneys representing the couple say they fled the area because they, quote, feared for their safety. This is following Tuesday's shooting where 4 students were killed and 7 others were injured. And we should note, this is rare. The parents of school shooters rarely face charges, but here's the prosecutor in the case explaining why they've been filed.
I couldn't even imagine not holding those 2 people responsible. They bought a weapon for their son and had every reason to believe, at least the day before and certainly the morning of, that he was very likely going to commit a violent act. And they did nothing. They did nothing. They allowed him to go back to class and walked out of that building and never once thought or cared enough to say to a school official or anyone else, our son has a gun.
I didn't.
No, and gotta love these ads, but you know, she ain't wrong. The only thing I would say about to that attorney, to Karen McDonald, is why didn't you just detain them first before you made the public announcement of actually filing those, indicting them on involuntary manslaughter, 4 counts before they took off? You see what I'm saying? Why not just get them first? Why not just get them first and then go out and do a public announcement? Now, I know she could not predict the future. She could not predict that was going to go down. Nobody's perfect, right? But that one thing where nowadays, I feel like it's a new thing where everybody wants to get up and flee. They want to flee the scene of a crime. They want to get out as quickly as they can, right? They want to take off. They want a Brian Laundrie up in this piece, right? They want to kick rocks. As soon as they go, oh my God, I'm in trouble, they start to run. People are now wanting to run now because they think, oh, we could be successful. So I feel like there should be a different protocol when it comes to coming out with information, right? I know, I get it. You want to go out there, right? And drop that bombshell for everyone to know because everybody and their mama wants to know what's going on, right? And I get that. But there's another part of me that's like, yo, maybe get them arrested first, tell it to them personally, and then go and make a public announcement, right? So that they don't take off. And then you don't waste half a night trying to find these 2 individuals, right? But I will say this, though. Them just taking off like this shows they ass. Shows exactly what kind of people these 2 parents are. Sometimes I feel like parents deserve to they need to do, I don't know, they need like some sort of license to be parents, a license to parent. Like when moments like this happen, that is the most irresponsible thing you could ever do. Their son turned himself in. You're telling me that this kid who went off and did some heinous crime is more mature than his parents? Put that in your pipe and smoke on it for a second. Really, though? Infinite Content, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Pascal, do we know if the police has went to their properties to seize any other weapons they may have? I mean, apparently they gutted out. Thank you again for the $5 super chat, Infinite Content. From my understanding, they gutted out that whole entire house. They went from the top to bottom and found multiple weapons, multiple. They had heavy artillery in that crib. After we look at this video, I'm going to try to see if I can find that article again. I think they give you an actual amount of how many guns and firearms were actually inside that house. But let's go.
In Pontiac, Michigan this morning, he stayed up almost the entire night following this saga. Shimon, the parents' attorney initially said that they left town for safety reasons and that they were planning to return. But given some of the details from last night, it doesn't sound like they were about to turn themselves in.
No, I mean, they were heading in the wrong direction completely if they were going to turn themselves in. They
Right.
were in Detroit, about 40 minutes away from here. It's really was very interesting to me. Certainly when we first got word that this search was going on, I couldn't figure out what they would be doing in Detroit. I mean, it is 40 minutes, but it's a busy place. So if they wanted to hide, probably would be a little difficult to hide. But that's where they were. The police realizing they got a call, they got a tip that the car was seen at a location, and the police just swarmed in. We saw heavily armed police officers, SWAT team members all over the east side of Detroit looking for them. We obtained exclusive video to CNN of the arrest, the moments of the arrest of both parents inside a building that they fled to. They parked their car and then they walked into this building. And inside this building, it was the U.S. Marshals, the Detroit police, and other law enforcement officials from across the area who had been spending the day searching for them. They went in that building and found them in an area of the building. Now, what's really interesting is that the Detroit police chief said that someone helped them get inside. Take a listen to what he said.
Yes, in fact, they were aided, and we're looking into that portion of the investigation. That part is very active right now. Our Metro Division has information that they're sharing with the U.S. Marshals, and they'll be sharing with the Oakland County Sheriff's Department.
When you say aided, did someone let them in? So they didn't break
Clearly.
in?
They did not break in.
So someone let them into
Yes.
this building?
Yes.
You know that they were aided. They helped. Somebody helped them out. Somebody got them in there. Because here it is. Let me roll this back really quick. I just want to show you something. You don't see the mattress on the floor? You don't see the therapeutic mattress on the floor, y'all? Look at the mattress on the floor. And Layati, can you email that to me? The arraignment, the live arraignment. If you can send that to me, that would be really appreciated. Please email it to me or anybody. If you can email that to me, that would be dope. And then I will put it up here so we can watch it together. But look, there's a therapeutic mattress right there on the floor. So they were helped. Somebody aided in their departure, in their run. Like I said, this is nuts. And I wouldn't be surprised if Mama has a lot to do with this. I wouldn't be surprised if they went onto their websites or on their little chat rooms and whatnot and said, hey, we did this thing for the good of the country, whatever the hell, right? And these other people are like, that's right, sister, we got you. We got a building. They'll never figure out that you're here. They weren't gone. They didn't disappear for very long. They hadn't disappeared for very long, ladies and gentlemen. They were found quickly. But by the way, cops, that's how you cop. Okay? Police, that's how you police. Good job. Good job. Instead of this turning into a full 1 month long manhunt trying to find these two, and we're all speculating X, Y, and Z, saying, oh, he's in Canada. No, he's in Mexico. No, he's in Haiti, for crying out loud. You know what I'm saying? They found him. But notice they have been helped. Somebody helped them the F out up in this piece, y'all. Crazy.
Information that they're sharing with the U.S. Marshals, and they'll be sharing with the Oakland County Sheriff's Department.
When you say aided, did someone let them in? So they didn't break in?
They did not break in.
So someone let them into
Yes.
this building?
Yes.
And so whoever that person was that let them in, the police say that they are now potentially facing charges as well. This building that they were found inside, clearly there is some connection. Police would not say what that is because they didn't want to reveal what it is that they're investigating, but they have video of them also going into this building. And that's one of the clues that they used in when they were looking for them and knowing that they were in this building. But this video from inside of this building just shows the massive response from the U.S. Marshals and other law enforcement officials to try and find them. They all swarmed this area in trying to find them, and they had success. They found them hiding in a first floor area of this building, and they took them into custody without any kind of incident. The police chief talked about how they sort of seemed distressed when they took him into custody. They're both now housed in the same jail, being held in the same jail as their son. We will see them later today. It's expected that they'll be arraigned. For Christy.
Isn't that crazy? They're in the same prison. They're in the same holding facility as their son right now. Isn't that crazy? Now, yes, that is true, Matt. Thank you so much. There is an article out here that is saying that before they took off, they withdrew $4,000 worth of in cash, obviously, out of an ATM to go on the run. Now, I don't know how much $4,000 can get you and how far it can get you, right? Especially if you are driving, especially if you are just using automobiles. Obviously, you're not going to be able to get onto a plane and fly anywhere. They're going to stop you real quick, especially your son just did this horrible, horrible thing, this heinous crime. But crazy that they had taken this money out. Now, there is speculation that they're saying that this could possibly be a fib about the $4,000 because people say, oh, it's almost impossible for you to take out that kind of money. Yes and no. I mean, they could literally pull up. Maybe it wasn't an ATM. They could have gone up to a bank teller and said, we want to withdraw $4,000. It could be just that simple. You see what I'm saying? So we'll see. We'll see what the full truths are. But that's what they're saying in these articles. And, you know, even so, yesterday, when we were talking about this yesterday, so many people were sitting here saying, oh, yeah, you know, he's not, they're not on the run. You know, they're not out on the lam. You know, they didn't kick rocks. Then other people are saying, no, they kick rocks. And it took a minute for us to actually find out the full truth. I think we found out confirmed it at the end of the stream, at the end of the show yesterday, where it's like, yo, bang, facts right here. They took off. So we'll see what's true and what's not.
And we know you're going to keep following that story for us. Shimon Prokupez from Pontiac, Michigan. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Shimon. So let's bring in former acting Baltimore Police Commissioner and CNN law enforcement analyst Anthony Barksdale. Thank you so much, Commissioner, for being with us. Okay,
that's enough on this one. But as you can see, right, this family is very, very interesting. And we're going to go into some more and more stuff here in a second. But I wanted to kind of show you a few more things. Real quick, because like I said, this story just gets thicker and thicker and crazier and crazier. And I got some more interviews from other people as well.
So I just want to update you guys on the latest. We just confirmed from Detroit police that both of the Crumbleys, the parents, are in custody right now. If you can take a look at the scene behind me, this is where they found both of them in the car. We are expecting an update from Chief White at 3 o'clock this morning. That's when he will tell us exactly what happened. But we do want to confirm to our viewers once again that both of the parents, the Crumbleys, are in custody here on Detroit's east side. Once again, we'll have an update from Chief White coming up in about less than an hour at 3 o'clock.
It's just crazy. Just absolutely nutty. You know? Now, this is something that, like I said, I want to pull up this one here right quick.
That they were aided in getting into the building?
Yes, in fact, they were aided, and we're looking into that portion of the investigation. That part is very active right now. Our Metro Division has information that they're sharing with the U.S. Marshals, and they'll be sharing with the Oakland County Sheriff's Department.
Do you expect there to be further charges?
There's likely to be charges, but again, we've got 2 prosecutors now that's going to be involved in that part of it. We've got the Oakland County prosecutor as well as our own prosecutor, Kim Worthy in Wayne County. So they'll be working together. We'll be turning over that information. So I don't know who will be charging.
When you say aided, did someone let them in? So they didn't break in?
They did not break in.
So someone let them into this building?
Yes.
Any idea what relationship they had with the Crumbleys, whoever let them in, or just
We don't know yet. We're unpacking all of that information right now, but that part is active, and we know who this person is. We know that subject.
A few more questions. Facing charges?
Oh, absolutely. They could be facing charges. Absolutely.
Were the Crumbleys trying to escape to Canada?
In Wayne County?
We're still looking into that. Very likely, but again, we're turning over all that we have and all of the information that was gleaned here tonight.
Was there any reason to believe?
We don't know. So you guys, come on.
Was there any reason to believe?
Like I said, who helped them? Who helped these individuals leave town? Who helped these individuals actually not leave town, but actually go out and hide? Right? What happened? How did this all go down? Because clearly somebody helped them. You saw the therapeutic mattress, okay? Post-arraignment, whatever the hell they're called nowadays, foam mattress on the floor. Like they were about to get real comfortable living in that building for however long they needed to be in that building before they make their move. But luckily, we got technology out here that we got Big Brother watching like crazy with all these security cams, right? And they were able to be found. But who helped them? Who helped them? And I guarantee you that there was some deeper thing going on, y'all. Through some chat site, through something. Then the other thing is the parents showed up virtually. You know, it's the infamous photo right there. It's that infamous photo right there, right? That we see all the time of them with their faces on their phone, right? Showing up virtually. They were already trying to figure out. They were already trying to figure out what their next move was going to be. I guarantee you, they started running right at this moment because they knew that they were screwed. Now I know that there's a video out here as well, not a video, like a blog from Jennifer Crumbley, basically praising number 45 and all that, and all the stuff that she says in this particular blog that she put up. And I'm not sitting here saying that, it's all this and that, but I mean, it's a strong possibility of what kind of mentality that was being brought in that home. An extreme mentality, not saying any person that's on that specific is a supporter of any sort is suddenly extreme. But I keep thinking that these two individuals were very adamant and maybe were put in, what those ideals were instilled into this young man, turning him into a machine or whatever, messing with his head. God knows what, right? But regardless of all that, they took off. Right at his arraignment. Took off. I guarantee you that. Now, I know I just got an email, I think. Let me take a look at that real quick. Oh, yeah, y'all are awesome, man. I see a bunch of this. Ooh-wee. Okay. Y'all amazing. Y'all are amazing. Hold on. Isn't that crazy? I mean, this whole thing is just absolutely nutty. Okay. And I need to scroll in. What I think somebody said something like go in as far as something, but hold on. Let me pull this up. One second, guys. Oh, okay. I mean, this is a long arraignment, but we could take a look at a little bit of this right quick. Be sure to hit that like button down below, y'all. Send those likes past 300 likes. That would really mean a lot. I see about 600 souls watching the show right now. Please hit that like button and don't forget to crush that subscribe button. Okay. I'm not usually on during this time. but I'm on right now. So please hit that like button down below and hit that subscribe button. I'm almost to 50,000 subscribers, almost. So we're going to scroll through this, okay, because it seems like this is going to be, it's 34 minutes long. But we're going to get down and see if we can find the meat and potatoes of this situation, all right?
If everyone could unmute your devices, please.
For Crumbley, docket number 21006-652. Can I have appearances on the record, starting with the prosecutor?
Karen McDonald, on behalf of the people of the state of Michigan.
Bart Keast, on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm Shannon Smith on behalf of Jennifer Crumbley.
Good morning, Your Honor. Marielle Lehman on behalf of James Crumbley.
I do want to address one issue first. Ms. Lehman and Ms. Smith, you are practicing in the same firm, is that correct?
Your Honor, that's correct. We have spoken to both of our clients about conflicts of interest. We have had in-depth conversations with them. Marielle Lehman and I are representing both of them. We are representing James and Jennifer, and the conflict of interest question or issue has been very much discussed and resolved. And we believe at this time, ethically and professionally, we can continue on in this fashion.
Okay, well, as you know, pursuant to MCR 6.005, subsection F1, you must state on the record the reasons that you believe joint representation in all probability will not cause a conflict of interest. So please state that for the record in accordance with the court rule.
Thank you, Your Honor. After reviewing the circumstances and facts of the case, and one of the things I need to make clear is that the media has very much been saturated with cherry-picked facts. But when we have talked to our clients in depth and learned all of the circumstances of the case, which obviously are covered by attorney-client privilege, there is not a conflict of interest between what happened. I cannot divulge to you the specific reasons, but there is not a conflict of interest between the parents, their defense, and their defense strategy.
Prosecutor, any comments or statements you want to make relative to any potential conflicts of interest?
Your Honor, I'm not sure that there's any facts that have been placed on the record that meets the standard. I'm not saying that I object, but I'm not sure that we have satisfied the court rule. But if Mr. Keast has something to add,
I am required to inquire as to each defendant as well. Jennifer Crumbley, do you have any objection to Ms. Lehman and Ms. Smith representing both you and Mr. Crumbley for this case, recognizing that they come from the same firm and they will be representing both of you?
I have no objection.
Mr. Crumbley, likewise for you. Do you have any objection to both Ms. Lehman and Ms. Smith representing both you and Ms. Crumbley as it relates to this particular case?
No objection, Your Honor.
Do either of you have any questions or concerns about a potential conflict of interest? Mr. Crumbley?
No.
Ms. Crumbley?
No.
Okay. At this point, the court is satisfied that both of the defendants are comfortable with both attorneys representing them in this case. The attorneys have indicated on the record that they do not believe that there is a conflict of interest and that they have spoken with both defendants in depth relative to any potential conflict of interest and whether or not their representation may jeopardize the right of each defendant to have the undivided loyalty of their lawyers. Therefore, the court will allow them to appear for purposes of the arraignment today on behalf of both defendants.
Oh my God.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Right. Now, in terms of the arraignment,
Here we go.
Jennifer Crumbley, I'm going to arraign you first. So if you'll please make sure you get close to that microphone so that we can hear you. If at any time you cannot hear or see me, please put your hand up and we'll stop the proceedings and then try to figure out what's going on. Do you understand that you are charged with the following counts? Count 1, involuntary manslaughter, which is punishable by up to 15 years in prison and or up to a $7,500 fine and mandatory DNA for the death of Madison Baldwin. Do you understand that that is a charge for count 1? Ms. Crumbley, you need to verbally respond.
I understand.
Do you understand that you are charged in count 2 for the death of Tate Meyer? Involuntary manslaughter, which is punishable by up to 15 years in prison and or up to a $7,500 fine and mandatory DNA.
I understand.
Do you understand?
I'm sorry. I don't mean to break this up. Okay. But now they're getting emotional. Now they're upset. Now. Okay.
And that you are charged in count 3 for the death of Hannah St. Juliana with involuntary manslaughter, which is punishable by up to 15 years in prison and or up to a $7,500 fine, along with mandatory DNA testing.
I understand.
Do you understand that you're charged in count 4 for the death of Justin Schilling with involuntary manslaughter, which is punishable by up to 15 years in prison and or up to $7,500 fine, along with mandatory DNA testing?
I understand.
Do you understand that you do have the right to plead guilty or not guilty to all those counts?
I understand.
Okay, so if they're found guilty, if she's found guilty, she basically is going to be living in prison behind bars for the rest of her natural life. Pretty much. I mean, that's 4 different counts. 15 years times 4, exactly. Do the math. That's a whole lot of mathing. That's a whole lot of time behind bars. I'm sorry. And no, they are not laughing. They are crying. They are crying. Okay. Because they done mucked the hell up. If they turned themselves in, they probably would have a better chance of having a decent fight in trial. Now they done mucked it all up. They nuked everything. They annihilated. They dropped napalm on they ish. And I'm sure there's more. Let's go.
And do you understand that you do have a right to a trial, either by jury or by judge? And at that trial, you would have the opportunity to call witnesses on your behalf, confront witnesses that have been called against you, and or to remain silent, and that you'd be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand all those trial rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you on probation or parole for any other offense? Ma'am, I'll ask the question again. Are you on probation or parole for any offense?
No.
And how are you pleading to count 1?
Not guilty.
How are you pleading to count 2?
Not guilty.
How are you pleading to count 3?
Not guilty.
How are you pleading to count 4?
Not guilty.
The court will enter the pleas of not guilty for you for all 4 counts. The court will set the probable cause conference, which is going to be on December 14th. Amy, what time did we have that one?
You could do 9.
That is December 14th at 1:15 p.m. The preliminary examination is scheduled for December 22nd at 9:45 a.m. Those will be in-person hearings.
Your Honor, just as a matter for our file, are you assigned for the purpose of exam and the pre-exam, or is it a different judge within the court?
Have mercy.
It is me.
Okay,
perfect.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm going to address bond in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and arraign Mr. James Crumbley first.
Come on.
James Crumbley, see and hear the court okay.
Yes.
And do you understand, sir, that you are charged in count 1 for the death of Madison Baldwin of involuntary manslaughter, which is punishable by up to 15 years in prison and or up to a $7,500 fine and mandatory DNA testing?
I understand.
Do you understand in count 2, you are charged with the death of Tate Meyer for the involuntary manslaughter, which is punishable by up to 15 years in prison and or up to a $7,500 fine and mandatory DNA testing?
I understand.
Do you understand that you are charged in count 3 for the death of Hannah St. Juliana with the involuntary manslaughter, which is punishable by up to 15 years in prison and up to a $7,500 fine and mandatory DNA testing?
I understand.
And do you understand that you are charged in count 4 for the death of Justin Schilling, involuntary manslaughter, which is punishable by up to 15 years in prison and up to a $7,500 fine and mandatory DNA testing?
I understand.
Do you understand that you do have the right to plead either guilty or not guilty to all of those charges?
I understand.
Do you understand you have a right to a trial either by jury or by judge? And at that trial, you would have the opportunity to call witnesses on your behalf, confront witnesses that have been called against you, and or to remain silent, and that you be presumed not guilty until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt for each and every element of the crime. Do you understand those trial rights?
I understand.
Are you on probation or parole for any other offense?
No,
How are you pleading to count 1?
not guilty.
How are you pleading to count 2?
Not guilty.
How are you pleading to count 3?
Not guilty.
And how are you pleading to count 4?
Not guilty.
Of course he's going
And
to do
the
that.
court will accept the plea of not guilty for all 4 counts. Your case will also be scheduled for a probable cause conference on December 14th at 1:15 and a preliminary examination on December 22nd at 9:45 a.m. At this point, I'm going to address bond. First, I'd like to hear from pretrial services.
So let's find out.
Thank you, Your Honor. Jeffrey Record for pretrial services.
Hold on real quick. Before we go into this piece, the question remains now. Are they going to be granted bail or no? I mean, I'm assuming that they're not going to be granted bail because of what they just did. So this will be interesting. Let's find out.
Ms. Gardner declined to speak with pretrial services and request to speak with her attorney. As a result, no references were contacted and little background information is available. She's 43 years old and married. Her listed address with the jail is 112 East Street in Oxford, Michigan. She does not have any. She does have a prior criminal history. She is not currently on probation or parole. She does not have a history of failing to appear. She does not have a prior documented history of violence. The charges against the defendant are severe, and are those charges issued by the court. Defendant, along with the co-defendant, failed to turn themselves into authorities. While every defendant is afforded the presumption of innocence, the purpose of bail is to ensure appearance and the safety of the community. Defendants in this matter had agreed through their attorney to turn themselves in to the court once charges were issued on 12/3 of 21. However, instead they fled.
Facts.
Based on the defendant's attempt to flee prosecution, pretrial services has concerns for appearance and the safety of the public. It is our recommendation that a release on recognizance bail is not appropriate in this case. In order to further mitigate concerns for appearance and public safety, if the defendant makes release, the following conditions are respectfully recommended. Pretrial services supervision, the GPS tether prior to release, allowed to leave home for work if employed, medical appointments, attorney visits, not to have any contact with any witnesses, victims, or return to Oxford High School, not to possess a firearm, and must turn any firearms in that have not been confiscated.
I'm sorry. All that is a hell to the no. I mean, this should be a cakewalk for the judge. Let's go. Please do not grant them anything.
Thank you. Who is going to speak on behalf of the prosecutor's office?
Oh, God.
I am, Your Honor.
Oh,
Go
okay.
ahead.
Not the defense.
Your Honor, I'm sure you've read the swear to you. Pursuant to MCR 6.106, bond should be set with the considerations of the likelihood of conviction first. Here, the likelihood of conviction is strong. Your Honor, we know from the facts and that were presented at the swear to you that Mr. Crumbley purchased this weapon for his son and that on the 27th, the Mrs.
Real quick, did you see the look on his face? Did you see the look on James Crumbley's face when she said he bought this gun as a gift? He had a look on his face like, what? Like, I didn't do that. That's interesting. I'm gonna roll that back just a tiny bit. Look at his face. Whoa, that was a big tell.
Facts and that were presented at the swear to that the Crumbleys, Mr. Crumbley, purchased this weapon for his son, and that on the 27th, the Mrs. Crumbley went to the shooting range with her son, posted on social media saying that it was a Mother's Sunday and that she bought a weapon for her, a gun for her baby for Christmas. It's also clear from the facts that he had total access to this weapon and that it was for him.
Wow.
Second, on the 29th, both defendants were aware that he was searching ammunition on his phone at school. Instead of reacting to that as a concerned parent and worried about safety, Mrs. Crumbley texted, LOL, I'm not mad, just next time don't get caught. And then obviously on this very tragic day, on the 30th, they were called to the school and about their son's drawing, which clearly depicted threats and acts of violence. And instead of disclosing to the school that he had full access to this weapon, they chose not to. They chose not to take their son home. They chose not to tell anybody that he might be dangerous when it was clear and they had every likelihood that he was, and instead they left. Furthermore, after the active shooting announcement went out, Mrs. Crumbley texted her son, Ethan, don't do it. And Mr. Crumbley went to his home purposely to search for this weapon because he was afraid his son had the weapon and was in fact shooting people and hurting them, which as we know is exactly what happened.
Okay. I guess we're watching a lot more of this arraignment than I expected, but here it is though, guys. Look at the father's face. Now, I just saw Infinite Content say something. I'm going to pull this up. He said, oh, it was the mom who bought the gun on Mother's Sunday? From my understanding, that's not how it went down. The gun was bought by James Crumbley. Now, like we've said it a million times before, or like I've said a million times before, there's a good possibility that the gun was bought. He bought it for himself, but he was like, hey, son, when you get old enough, when you are of age and you learn how to properly use this gun, the safety precautions, all that stuff, and know how to be responsible with a gun, this gun shall be yours when you are of age, son. When you're a man enough, when you're adult enough, here you go, right? That could very well be it. And you never know. It could also be the thing of maybe the mom went and said, hey, since he loves guns so much, I don't know. Let's go do some target practicing, right? Come on, son, you and I are going to have some fun together. Let's shoot some targets, right? Then maybe during that time, mama said, hey, son, this is really your gun. Just to make him feel better. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know why. I don't know. Guns in general just don't, with kids, just don't make any sense to me, okay? But like I said, the look on the father's face is astounding. It's astounding. It tells all. He's like, what? I didn't buy this. It's almost like he's like, no, that's not true. I didn't do that. I didn't buy this for my son. Maybe he did. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he's putting on an act right now. Maybe he is not. We don't know. But all we know is that was a big move. That was a big reaction, right? But I think a lot of this has to do with mama. I think a lot of this has to do with the mom. But we don't know. The story is still unfolding as we speak. So let's continue.
Your Honor, this is a very serious, horrible, terrible murder and shooting, and it has affected the entire community. And these two individuals could have stopped it. And they had every reason to know that he was dangerous, and they gave him a weapon, and they didn't secure it, and they allowed him free access to it. Furthermore, Your Honor, the purpose of bond is to secure further court appearances. And yesterday, they were charged with these counts of involuntary manslaughter. Now, Your Honor, the communication between Mrs. Smith and the prosecutor's office was a text message that was sent to me and was not replied to. We don't have an obligation to cooperate, and there are good reasons for that. And I think the fact that the events that played out show the reasons for that. Now, Mrs. Smith, clearly her clients did not tell her the truth, because her representation was they wanted to turn themselves in, and that they were on their way to do that. However, they didn't turn themselves in, and we were told they were out of town, except that yesterday morning they withdrew $4,000 from an ATM in Rochester Hills, very close to the court where they could have turned themselves in with no events and no efforts on behalf of law enforcement. Instead, they fled, and they sought multiple attempts to hide their location, and were eventually tracked down after they parked their car somewhere. A witness saw it, and the entire fugitive apprehension team with multiple other law enforcement agencies went into a vacant building and searched it from top to bottom. And these two individuals were found locked somewhere in a room hiding. These are not people that we can be assured will return to court on their own.
Facts.
And then lastly, pursuant to MCR 6.106, we also should consider, or the court should consider, whether or not there are members of the community to vouch. There are none here. In fact, there are none here because there's not one person in that community that will vouch for these two defendants. So I'm asking that you set a $500,000 bond for both defendants, cash surety.
Okay, so here's the thing. Here it is. I do not blame Karen McDonald for saying and presenting this information. Now, James and Jennifer Crumbley have no place to sit here and react with surprise, with their mouths just dropped and all that stuff. You decided to get into a car and drive off. Period. You should, I feel like these guys should be as stoic and as quiet as possible. Not sitting there going, oh my God, and shaking their head and all that stuff. You have no place. You admitted guilt when you got into that car and tried to drive off, where you were sleeping on a therapeutic mattress, foam mattress, in the middle of a building trying to hide the F out. Period. You don't do that if you think and believe and know within the fiber of your being that you are innocent. You do not do that. So yeah, you're going to get everything thrown at you and the kitchen sink because you done mucked up. You decided to take that knee-jerk reaction and run off. Don't act all like, oh my gosh, what's going on? I can't believe they're saying all this stuff about me. No, you should be sitting here and taking it. You need to face the music. You need to lay in that bed because you damn made it. You made that bed. You better lie in that mother lover. Real talk. Unbelievable.
I'd like to hear from the attorneys. Please address bond as it relates to Jennifer Crumbley first, please.
Your Honor, the first thing I need to do is to respond to the prosecution's comments about our contact with their office. On Thursday night, I texted Karen McDonald and told her my office was representing the Crumbleys and I wanted to speak with her. She did text back and said we could talk first thing Friday morning. First thing Friday morning, I did text Miss McDonald. I also group texted Miss McDonald with Mario Lehman. I also called her office. I talked to her personal secretary and explained who I was, the circumstances, and that I needed to speak with Miss McDonald. Marielle Lehman also called Miss McDonald in the morning. We called the prosecutor's office throughout the day and never got a call back. We were going to make arrangements to have our clients turn themselves in. I was in a trial in circuit court in front of Judge Savin all day yesterday. Miss Lehman was traveling on a plane from Florida up to Michigan. The prosecutor's office, instead of getting back to us in any way, decided to have a press conference and, as Miss McDonald admitted, try to find a way to surprise our clients and catch them off guard when it was so unnecessary.
Huh. So this is the this ain't good. This better not work. Like real talk. You think that's gonna work? That excuse is gonna work? Oh, we were in court and my other partner was flying in. They were in a plane and all that. What? Who cares? What these two are a part of is something that is incredibly heartbreaking, devastating, unthinkable, unfathomable. And you're trying to make excuses because y'all were busy in other cases and one was in a plane? Come on, man. Now, I get the series of events may not be the best, right? As far as Karen McDonald and what the prosecutors decided to do and all that. I get that. It may not have been the greatest turn of events, but at the same time, hey, this is the bet that they made. You better lie in it. Your son was involved in something terrible. Any other law-abiding citizen that also believes that they are innocent would hear about that information. Once they hear that they are being indicted on any type of charge, they set up a time to go in and turn themselves in. That's what you do. Period. Doesn't matter if she decides to jump on a microphone and tell it on a mountain. Doesn't matter. It does not matter. Because it all revolves around what your clients that you are trying to defend. And I understand you're singing for your meal right now, right? You get paid to defend them. But they made that decision themselves to make that run, to run for the border. And I'm not talking about Taco Bell. They ain't heading for the bell. All right? But this woman's just singing for her meal right now. She's singing for her dinner.
And last night and throughout the day, we were in contact with our clients. They were scared. They were terrified. They were not at home. They were figuring out what to do, getting finances in order. And the last text messages we had with them and phone calls Marielle Lehman and I had with them, our plan was to drive to the Novi District Court this morning because arraignments were supposed to start at 8:30 for any county arraignment. And we had plans to meet them at 7:30 to text the fugitive apprehension team to get to the court by 8:30 so they could be arraigned first thing.
So you're telling me that they took out a whole bunch of money, AKA trying to get their financials on point, disappeared, hid in a building, sleeping on a lone mattress, therapeutic, by the way, memory foam therapeutic mattress in the middle of some random building, and you're telling me that was them trying to get their stuff together before they went behind bars? Why wasn't there communication with law enforcement between the defense attorneys or their attorneys and law enforcement so that they didn't have to go, there's a manhunt out here looking for these two individuals, the Crumbleys? Why didn't they do that then? Like I said, this woman's singing for her dinner right now.
Those were plans we made and solidified, and we did not announce it because, unlike the prosecution, we weren't attempting to make this a media.
Shut up!
spectacle.
You are just, oh my God. You got to be kidding me. Oh my God. Singing for her dinner. I mean, she's literally trying to grasp at straws, right? She's literally trying to pull something out of her ass right now. Wow.
This
Wow.
case is absolutely
Wow.
the saddest, most tragic, worst case imaginable. There is absolutely no doubt. But our clients were absolutely going to turn themselves in. It was just a matter of logistics, and all the prosecution had to do was communicate with me about it.
Oh, so it's their responsibility to communicate with the lawyers? No, it's the lawyer's responsibility to communicate with them. You got to be kidding me, y'all. Come on, man. You can't be feeding me this BS saying that this is justified and all that for them to be hiding out. If they were honestly hiding, if they were honestly just trying to get away so that they don't get into some sort of trouble, let's just be real, so that they don't have trouble going and knocking on their front door, right? Why would you go hide out in some in some random building sleeping on a mattress? Why wouldn't you just go to a motel? The next city over and call it a damn day. All of this looks sus as hell. All of this is suspect as hell. You can't tell me that this is, oh my God.
And we tried multiple times.
No, you didn't.
All right. That being said, with respect to Miss
Unbelievable.
Crumbley, she is 43 years old, as pretrial services told you. She has been employed as the director of a large company, director of marketing. She grew up in Clarkston. Prior to living in Oxford, where they've owned their home since 2015, she lived in Lake Orion. She has never been in serious trouble with the law. She does have a drunk driving conviction back from when she was in college. Any conviction on Miss Crumbley's record is a misdemeanor and is old. Miss Crumbley has retained my office in Mariel, obviously. She would not have done that had she planned to not turn herself in and fight these charges. I'm quite certain they would not have paid my office money and taken those steps if they were not going to fight these charges. When it comes to the seriousness of the offense, when you listen to the prosecution's facts they're presenting, which are incomplete, very incomplete, it does sound like an absolutely egregious wrongdoing on the part of Mr. and Mrs. Crumbley that they gave their child a gun and encouraged them to do this. That's just not the case. And Mrs. Crumbley is presumed innocent. And I ask this court to note that full discovery has not been available and that the court is only aware of the facts the prosecution has presented, but that gun was actually locked. So when the prosecution is stating that this child had free access to a gun.
So now they're claiming that the gun was locked. Wow. That's a new one. So now they're saying that the gun was locked, and we heard elsewhere that the gun was not locked, that it was away, but he had easy access to said gun. So you're telling me that now the gun was actually locked up. Now it was actually locked. Oh my God.
That is just absolutely not true. And we need an opportunity to fight this case in court and not in the court of public opinion. We need the opportunity to have our clients' constitutional rights to being presumed innocent protected. And this court is going to see in the exam in particular that there is far more going on than what this court has been made aware of. And for that reason, Your Honor, I would ask this court to set bond, keeping all of that in mind. Our clients would absolutely avail themselves to a GPS tether. They would absolutely obey all of the conditions listed by pretrial services. This case does not warrant a $500,000 bond. I would ask this court, in light of the criminal history, the limited facts presented, to order that the bond be set at $50,000 or $100,000 if this court believes it needs to be more. Our clients are going to fight these charges. Our clients are just as devastated as everyone else. Bond has to come from a place of legal soundness, not emotional reaction, which has driven this entire case. And it is emotionally charged. It is emotionally the worst thing I have ever been involved with and seen. There is no doubt it is the worst thing the Crumbleys have ever been involved with and seen. And there is just so much going on here, and we ask the court to set a reasonable bond.
Any additional comments as it relates to James Crumbley?
Yes, Your Honor. James is 45 years old. He has a prior conviction from 2004. Again, similar to Jennifer Crumbley, any convictions that he has would have been, we believe that they were misdemeanors. He does not have any substance abuse issues. He does have some health issues that require, he's diabetic, that require 2 types of insulin. He was gainfully employed. He's been in Michigan since he and Jennifer moved up here several years ago. As for the seriousness of the charges, as Ms. Smith has stated, the facts that have been presented by Ms. McDonald and her office have been cherry-picked to further her narrative of making an example of Mr. and Mrs. Crumbley, which she very freely said she was doing yesterday during her press conference. Again, to echo what Ms. Smith has said, I personally contacted Ms. McDonald's office to notify her of mine and Ms. Smith's availability. She chose not to call us back. I was also in communication with law enforcement, as was Ms. Smith. They knew that we were planning to bring Mr. and Mrs. Crumbley in. They knew that we were in communication with them, contrary to what was presented in the media. Your Honor, they hired our office on Thursday. We are prepared to defend this case. They are absolutely taking this case seriously. They are devastated by the events in the Oxford incident. This is not something that's being taken lightly by them or us, Your Honor. I agree with Ms. Smith, $500,000 is not warranted in this case. The charges are very seriously, but as the court is aware, they are allegations at this point. As Ms. Smith has stated, both of our clients are presumed innocent unless they're proven guilty, Your Honor. And quite frankly, from what we know, Your Honor, the facts are not what they've been presented to the court and to the public.
Only the guilty run.
So I again echo what Ms. Smith indicated. Our clients are more than happy to have a GPS tether, to be on pretrial services supervision. I am again requesting a $50,000 or $100,000 bond. But Mr. Crumbley, as with Mrs. Crumbley, is not a flight risk. He is not a danger to the community. There is no risk that they are going to flee prosecution. They were never fleeing prosecution. I want to make that very clear with the court. We had been in communication with the prosecutor's office and law enforcement and our clients throughout yesterday, Your Honor. They were not fleeing prosecution, contrary to the media reports.
Oh, let's not forget, he's a diabetic.
So, Your Honor, I'm asking that they have a $50,000 or $100,000 bond with a GPS tether and pretrial services supervision.
Your Honor, may I respond, please?
Very, very quickly, please.
Your Honor, I agree with Mrs. Smith on one thing. The court hasn't heard all the facts, and neither has the public, because I have an ethical duty not to release those facts, because she is indeed correct. Her client and Mr. Crumbley have an absolute, we have a burden, and these are merely allegations. So I agree. And I just want to point out, nobody needs permission. These defendants did not need my permission, and they didn't need law enforcement permission to go to the court and turn themselves in, go to the police department, the sheriff's department, and turn themselves in. I agree Mrs. Smith was perhaps in trial. She had a break from 11:45 to 2:45, and I can't imagine why they were surprised. The whole country knew that these charges were coming. And lastly, to suggest that anyone is somehow using this incident to create press, there's a lot of attention here, because 4 children were murdered and 7 others were injured. And that is on the mind of every single person in this country.
Bang.
So I would ask that you impose the $500,000 cash surety on each of the defendants, Your Honor.
Thank you. So in terms of bond, the court is required to comply with MCR 6.106. The purpose of bond is to ensure that the defendants appear in court for all necessary court appearances, as well as to take into consideration any risk to public safety. Obviously, these charges are very, very serious. There's no question about that. The court does have some concern about the flight risk along with the public safety, given the circumstances that occurred yesterday and the fact that the defendants did have to be apprehended in order to appear for purposes of arraignment. The court did indicate yesterday after the swear-to that it would be conducting an arraignment at 4 p.m. And nobody appeared for purposes of that arraignment.
Your
So
Honor,
for those reasons-
if I may, excuse me.
Set the bond for Jennifer Crumbley at $500,000 cash surety, no 10%. In the event that Jennifer Crumbley is able to post bond, the following conditions will be in place. The defendant is not to use or test positive for alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any controlled substances. Ms. Crumbley is not to possess or have in her possession any firearms or dangerous weapons. She'll not have any assaultive behavior toward anyone. Must provide a release address upon release to the pretrial services representative. The pretrial services representative will be monitoring bond compliance. The defendant, within 24 hours of release from the Oakland County Jail, must submit to and pay for ETG, PBT, or urinalysis at a facility that's open 7 days a week that automatically lab confirms all positives, provides all levels in writing. That would be at the direction of PTS. The defendant, Ms. Crumbley, at this time is to verify any employment status and verify that in writing upon release from the Oakland County Jail. In the event that the defendant, Ms. Crumbley, is able to post bond, the court is going to require that she have a GPS tether. The GPS tether must be installed upon release from the Oakland County Jail. The GPS tether will have the allowances that she could go to work, attend court hearings, medical appointments, and attorney meetings. She must provide work schedule, medical appointments, and any meetings to PTS in advance. Again, that must be installed at the jail before she leaves the jail. As it relates to James Robert Crumbley, the court is setting a $500,000 cash surety, no 10% bond. The defendant is not to use or test positive for alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any controlled substances. The defendant is not to possess or have in his possession any firearms, weapons, or ammunition. The defendant is not to have assaultive behavior toward anyone. The defendant must provide a release address if he is able to post bond to pretrial services. He will be monitored by pretrial services, must submit and pay for ETG, PBT, and a urinalysis within 24 hours of release from the Oakland County Jail at a facility that is open 7 days a week, that automatically lab confirms all positives, provides all levels in writing. The defendant must verify employment to PTS upon release from the Oakland County Jail. The GPS tether must be installed prior to release from the Oakland County Jail in the event that the defendant is able to post bond. He also must provide information relative to employment schedule, medical appointments, or any other appointments that are allowed, which will include, he could attend court hearings, employment, medical appointments, and attorney meetings. Any violations of any of the terms and conditions of those bond may result in revocation of bond. Any questions as it relates to bond for James Crumbley?
Your Honor, we have no questions, but I do need to place one thing on the record. I'm not asking the court to change anything. What I want to state on the record is I was not able to watch the entire press release and I had no idea there was a 4 o'clock arraignment. Ms. Lehman didn't know either. The media had so many reports of random times that quite frankly, we didn't believe there was.
Counsel, we're not going to get into.
I just want to apologize to the court because we weren't aware. And also we faxed over appearances and no one told us like, hey, we're going to do this at 4 o'clock. We sent appearances late in the day. And I just apologize to this court because we don't miss dates.
Okay. Okay.
So thank you.
Thank you. Finally, as it relates to bond, in the event that the defendants do post bond, I am requiring that they turn over any and all weapons to the Oakland County Sheriff's Office. That must occur within. Realistically, I'm not sure what they have in their possession, or if they're going to be able to be where they're going to be released to if they post bond. But I am going to require that they turn over all weapons upon release from the Oakland County Jail.
Are we done?
Okay. Any other questions?
No, thank you.
No, Your Honor.
Thank you.
It's done. Okay, here it is, though. I'm going to say this. I don't think that there should be. I feel like they should just be locked up, period. I don't think that there should be an opportunity to raise $500,000. I mean, it's $1 million between both of them, right? You sum them up, $500,000 for each one, no 10% bail. No 10%. They have to pay it all to be able to get out of prison or get out of jail, out of their holding facility. Now, here it is, though. I will say this. Just because we're sitting here going, yes, $500,000 cash, right? Cold hard cash. And we're all sitting here going, yeah, they're going to see the inside of that jail cell until their court, right? Until they go to prison. Excuse me, until they are found guilty, right? Until they are found guilty for what they were a part of, right? Which hopefully, depending on if they do go as far as seeing the inside of a courtroom, which we will most likely see, right? Does not automatically mean, just because they got this $500,000 does not automatically mean that they are going to be in there wasting their time collecting dust behind a jail cell. There are plenty of people out here that feel like they had done no wrong, that it's the father's that it's their son's problem. It's Ethan's fault, not the parents. So just before we start going, oh, damn right, $500,000 cash. Yo, somebody said it earlier. For a fact there's some Ricky Schroders out here just trying to run to the rescue for these guys because they believe that they did no wrong. That's all I'm trying to say. $500,000, right? $1 million for both of them, cold hard cash in full, can be raised and can be found and helped for them. So before we jump all the way into it and say, yes, well, we got to wait and see. $500,000, I feel like it should be $1 million for each. I feel like it should be more than just $500,000. Because let's be real, even if they do get bail, right? Even if they do make bail and they're taken out, yes, they still have to. They have to test. Continually test, like drug tests and all that stuff. They're going to be tethered, like getting those anklets, right? So they're not going to be able to do really much. Both of them, if they have jobs, they ain't going to have jobs no more. Jobs are going to be gone. You think that they're going to let James Crumbley go back to his job that apparently is a nice, cushy job? He gets paid. He makes monies, apparently, at his job. So here's the thing. You saw what happened with Kyle Rittenhouse. He was arraigned. He was, they put a certain amount on it, as far as his bail. And people band together, like the Ricky Schroders and the My Pillows of the world, band together and supported that young man and bailed him out. Now, I'm not trying to get into Kyle Rittenhouse talk, and I'm not trying to say what my thoughts on it are at all. All I'm saying is there are people out here that are supportive of these two right now. I mean, we see it in the stream, in the chats. People are coming in and they have their opposing views, thinking that they did no wrong, that they didn't do anything wrong. It's the son that did the wrong, so on and so forth. Here it is. There was somebody that helped them, that gave them a building with a mattress in it for them to stay in. God knows what they had planned, what their next step was. They were trying to flee. They were definitely trying to flee. Here's the other thing too. The defense attorneys, let me be real, they're doing their job. They're trying to esquire the hell out of this case and trying to lower their clients' charges, right? They're trying to lower and trying to find reasons for, don't throw a hefty bail on these guys' heads. They didn't do this, they didn't do that. We didn't know about this, that, and the third. My partner was flying in a plane whilst this was going down. Karen McDonald, the prosecution, didn't even bother to let us know what was going on, so on and so forth. Like I said, grasping at straws, but at the same time, they are singing for their dinner. They're doing their job. Whether they want to do that job or not, I don't know. But it's their job to represent these two individuals. But they were definitely grasping at straws. So the thing is that, yes, it's $500,000, and that's a whole lot of quiche, y'all. That's a whole lot of monies. But that does not mean that there's not somebody out here with deep pockets that could drop $1 million for both of them real quick. So in my mind, I'm like, yes, $500,000, without the 10%, cool. All right, cool. But that doesn't mean anything. There's somebody out here that could possibly be willing to drop that money and support these two individuals. There are a lot of people out here that feel that they did nothing wrong. Now, there's the other piece that they said in here, that the gun was actually locked up. We've been hearing other stories. Obviously, we've been hearing other pieces of information out here saying that it was out, sitting there, just all willy-nilly, right? We've been hearing all kinds of other stories out here saying that the gun was in his possession, that he had it. It was a gift to the son. We see text messages and social media posts saying otherwise as well, where the mom is like, Mom and Sunday, we're going to test drive his gun right now. He posts on his own social media, just got a new gun, Sig Sauer 2022. DM, ask any questions. If you have any questions, hit me up. There are messages from the mom saying, hey, it's all good, son. Just don't get caught next time. Almost verbatim. Just don't get caught next time. LOL. So the thing is no matter what, there are so many varying stories that are being put out here. We hear the main pieces. You have someone like Karen McDonald going out here saying, these are the facts. So those were the facts. So why are they trying to retract and saying, no, the gun was not in his possession at all? The gun was locked up. Then where was the gun locked up? Now, I looked up just to see how many guns they had in their possession. All I see right now is and I don't know the exact amount, but they said several long rifles. Several. So it wasn't like they just had a rifle and a handgun. They had several long rifles in their home. And I'm sure they were all legally paid for, that they had legal possession of those firearms, but there were a lot of them. It was an arsenal. It was heavy art. They had a great deal of weaponry in their home. Now, the thing is I wanted to show you guys this because this is a video that I received in an email, and this is an interview that James Crumbley's baby mama had with a local news station talking about Ethan Crumbley and describing him as a father. It's very interesting. Let's take a look.
Now, as we wait for James and Jennifer Crumbley to be placed under arrest, we are speaking to a Florida woman who says she knows them quite well. She is telling 7 Action News that the Crumbleys, along with their son Ethan, deserve maximum punishments for any and all of their roles in the tragedy at Oxford High School. 7 Action News reporter Kimberly Craig has more on what she had to say.
We're learning more about James and Jennifer Crumbley from a woman who has an 18-year-old son with him. Michelle Cobb says he left them strapped for cash and struggling to make ends meet.
He's a piece of he really is.
Whoa.
The whole time of my son growing, my son is
Yikes.
18 years old now. And you know, I cried the moment he turned 18 because I thought all of this hell is over as far as dealing with my son's father.
And the father of her 18-year-old son, Eli, is
Damn.
James Crumbley. James is also Ethan's father. And Michelle Cobb says it was Jennifer Crumbley who made her son's life unbearable when he would visit his dad and half-brother Ethan. She says it was Jennifer who ran the show.
Jennifer was a monster. She could do no wrong, and she was right about everything.
Prosecutors say it was Jennifer Crumbley who posted a picture of the pistol on Instagram, writing "Mom in Sunday," testing out his new Christmas present.
They pretty much gave him whatever he wanted.
Cobb says while James and Jennifer gave Ethan whatever he wanted, it was a hopeless struggle to get James to pay even $67 a week in child support when he was making six figures.
Did you hear that? This dude was making six figures. And he could... Okay, let me finish this.
My son is 6'3" and 240 pounds. Do you know how much $67 a week pays?
More than ever.
That's a couple trips to McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? That's a big old boy, by the way. That's a big boy. He is a little bit, I'm a little bit taller than him. And he's 20 pounds lighter than me. And let me tell you something. $67 a week ain't ish for a big old boy with a big growing boy. Let's just say that, with a bottomless pit for a stomach. $67 ain't ish. Dude makes six figures a year and he was only paying $67 a week for his other son. Bruh.
She's
Wow.
thankful Eli left the Crumleys' Oxford home right before the start of the pandemic. And Eli says he never even saw any guns when he was here.
The first thing that came to my mind when all of this happened was how thankful that I was that my son was not there.
Cobb says she's heartbroken for the families whose children were killed and those injured. And she says Ethan and his parents must be held accountable for their roles in the tragedy.
I hope they get the maximum, honestly.
I agree too. They should get the maximum.
Kimberly Craig, 7 Action.
Okay. They should get the maximum. I think for sure. They had everything to do with this. And maybe because the son left, maybe I don't know, maybe it changed. The dynamics in the home changed. Maybe, I don't know, maybe Eli was a moral compass, right? That kind of kept the family in line. And then all of a sudden, when he left, they started collecting more guns. I mean, there's so many speculations. There's so many theories out here, right? Because we already know that what the mother has written and done, has posted online and all that. So it makes you wonder if she's kind of clumped into a certain category or into a certain group of people. And God knows what was going on during this time. When the pandemic happened, yes, everybody went a little bat-ish crazy. Everyone kind of lost their minds. Let's be straight funky on that. A lot of people lost their damn minds during this time. A lot of people started stocking up on weaponry because they thought that that there was going to be some sort of zombie apocalypse in a way, like that the world was going to turn in on itself and it was going to become even more violent out here in these streets. All of this and more was going on in a lot of people's minds. It is true. We did cover it on the show back in the day where there was a large surplus, a large amount of guns being bought, so much that the manufacturers that were making bullets could not keep up with the amount of guns that were getting ripped off the shelves during this time. So I can see that. I can see a whole lot of people losing their damn minds. And this family could have been one of them. Just terrified, thinking that the world's going to go down in a barrel of burning cat piss. Real talk. It's crazy. But this is really what's going down. These parents, something else. Really, really something else. Now, as you know, they have been hunted down. They have been found. I want to show you guys I think I got the mugshot here. Let me show you guys the mugshot of all three of them right quick. Nope, not that one. Hold up. Here's the mugshot of all of them together. Blammo. Whole family together now. Whole family. And yeah. They have been detained, y'all. Officially have been detained. And the thing is, as you saw, $500,000 cash, no 10%. So we'll see. We'll see. Like I said, we sit here and we applaud this and we say, yeah, you know what I mean? That's what they, that's exactly what they deserve. Get them, right? But we don't know yet. Because like I said, there's a lot of people out here in these streets. You saw the show on yesterday afternoon stream. That was some crazy stuff. A couple people were calling in, trolls that were just feeling some type of way. Clearly, there are people that are supportive of these two. Maybe not as supportive of Ethan and what he's done, because clearly what he's done is unthinkable, right? But there's other people that are sitting out here going, hey, they did no wrong. They did no wrong. In my personal opinion, they did some wrong. And as we start to hear more stories, more and more pieces of information, as we start to know more about these two, all right, about these two here, the more we start to know more about these two, the more we start to know that they were just bad people. Very, very bad people. And now the fact that you have the ex, I guess the ex or the baby mama or ex-wife, whatever, sitting here saying that, yo, the mama had a lot to do with this, that she was, orchestrating a lot, or she was the lead, right? She was the head mama bear of this whole situation. It does make you wonder. It does. It does make you wonder what kind of dynamics, what were the dynamics in this home? What were the dynamics? What were the dynamics? I'm just pulling this up real quick. What were the dynamics in this home? And obviously we won't know everything as of yet, but you look at a photo like this, you see what this photo looks like, right? The two of them together. They're also in the same holding facility as their son. It's crazy, right? Craziness. But there you have it, y'all. Because it makes me wonder. It also does make me wonder, like, what are the possibilities of it being where, I'm pulling their faces up one more time. You have obviously Jennifer and James, right? What if Jennifer was really the one? What if Jennifer really is the one that was the one that moved, called all the shots, right? James, not so much. Maybe he just followed her lead, right? What if that? What if when the ex baby mama, right, talks about, oh, he was only paying $67 a week, if that, like it took forever to get him to pay even that. What if Jennifer had a part in that, saying you only have one son and that one son is Ethan? I mean, there's crazy stuff out here. I'm just throwing out speculations, right? I'm just throwing out possibilities. I'm not saying that this is the be all and end all, but think about it. That's insane, right? What if she had full control over everything? And he was just kind of a yes, dear kind of guy. Just saying. He bought the gun. Yes, he bought the gun. He filled out the information. He bought that gun. But what if Mama was the one who was saying, no, this gun is for you, son. Let's go shoot. Let's go bond. We're going to go shoot. And of course, she's the one who put it on social media. Me and my son are going shooting with his new toy, with his new gift. What if James Crumbley is a pushover? Just saying. I feel like what's going to happen is James is going to squawk. I think James is going to squeal like a pig. That's what I think. I think he's going to say some stuff and he's going to go, this is what's going down. This is what happened. No. I feel like he's going to throw some people under the bus at some point. Maybe, or they will just keep together and it will just be teamwork together. But the way he reacted when they were breaking all the stuff down, he was just like, what? I didn't do nothing kind of thing. So I have a feeling he's going to sit there and say something. He's going to speak up. Now, I got a super chat. Thank you so much, Lady Justice, for the $5 super chat. He is a pushover. Clearly, he Crumbley's under pressure. I'm done. Dad jokes over. No, I'm kidding. But yeah. Cookie Crumblies. Yeah, the Cookie Crumblies. Yeah. This is bad. But the way he reacted during that arraignment was surprising. Instead of him just being like, okay, this is the truth. These are all the facts. He was just like, what? So we'll see. We will see what happens. Now, I know that there was like a something from Jennifer Crumbley. Hold on. Let's see here. Let's see if now she had an open letter allegedly from to President Trump. And so there are some things. Now there is a piece here. And of course, there's people who have taken it and have chopped it up and used it in articles and all that. But there's this one. I mean, there's some pieces here. This is from an article, but it says, as a female and a realtor, thank you for allowing my right to bear arms. The letter continues, allowing me to be protected if I show a home to someone with bad intentions. Thank you for respecting that amendment. And this is obviously a open letter to Trump from Jennifer Crumbley. There's a lot more in this particular article that is here. It's one that I'm going to probably have to do in a separate stream because it's just interesting, right? This says here, and this is from a couple years ago. When was this? 2016. So 5 years ago. 5 years ago, November 11th, 2016. This is interesting. It says here, my husband suffered a stroke and a broken back, and we were just on my income. Do you know how hard it is to support a family on only $40,000 a year? I couldn't qualify for state aid. I made too much. Interesting. I'm trying to find the piece that I found very interesting. Where is it? Right. You made the famous grab him by the comment, the Ussy comment. Did it offend me? No. I say things all the time that people take the wrong way. Do I mean them? Not always. Do I agree that you should have shown your tax returns? No. I don't care what you do or maybe don't pay in taxes. I think those are personal. And if the government can lock someone up over $10,000 of unpaid taxes and you slipped on by, then that shows the corruption. I mean, this is a full-on video. This is a full-on open letter of praise to this man. Now, you know, some people will sit there and go, that doesn't mean anything about what type of person we're dealing with. It could be a little bit of a insight into the, you know, into the psyche of this particular, into Jennifer Crumbley. But also, it could also just be someone just saying, hey, I appreciate what you did for our country and I'm a supporter and stuff like that. You know, maybe she would be somebody, maybe she is somebody, maybe they are people that supported what happened in January of last year, you know, or of this year, right? I mean, you never know, but you know, that's all speculation. All right. Chablis Carmona, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Thank you for your great reporting and commentary, Pascal. You're amazing. Cheering you on. Thank you so much for your support. I really do appreciate it. And I'm cheering you on too. So thank you so much for your support. Real talk, you know. But yeah, you know, we will find out. We will find out what goes down. Let's see how she signs it. Hold on, let me see. I didn't see the end of that. Oh my Lord, that is interesting. Let me pull this up. This is interesting. America, right? Okay, so this is how she signs it. If this blog even gets makes it to your eyes, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Yours truly, a hardworking, middle-class, law-abiding citizen who is sick of getting effed in the A and would rather be grabbed by the P word. That's literally what she put in there. So, interesting. Very, very interesting how she signs off. How she signs it. Very, very interesting, don't you think? But, you know, like I said, this is it's a very, like I said, it's a very interesting thing. I hate the fact that that there's an open letter, right? Because I don't like to lean on any types of stereotypical tropes or anything like that. We'll see what they say or what more information that comes out here, because that could literally just be a open letter of somebody who was a fan of a president, right? But at the same time, you got a son that went out and did a heinous crime, did something unthinkable, right? Unforgivable, even. And it's sad. And yes, it's cray-cray. Absolutely bat-ish cray-cray. So, woo, what a morning. What a morning, y'all. That is the show today, guys. You know, I want to say a big thank you to everyone who came on today to hear this show, to be a part of the conversation. I mean, you know, like I said, we don't know everything as of yet. There's going to be more information, I'm sure, as time goes on. We're still waiting to hear that information, right? We're still waiting to hear truths. They got up and they ran, right? They got up and they straight up ran. And the thing is that, to me, the innocent stay, the guilty run. That's what I think. It doesn't mean, oh, no, you know, oh, you won't understand. Just saying. You can't sit there and go, oh, you won't understand. It's so hard to explain, so on and so forth. You know, I got to run. I got to take off because you won't understand. No, Show us that you are innocent by showing up. When they say you need to be here to turn yourself in at this particular time, you show the F up. You don't hide behind your lawyers, and then your lawyers try to find excuses every excuse under the sun to justify you not being where you were supposed to be. Law enforcement went out of their way to put it out a bolo, a be on the lookout situation. You had U.S. Marshals tweeting about this. They literally were like, we are looking for their asses. Period. That's not how you do that. The innocent do not run. They go and they face the music. Period. They take responsibility for the actions that they may have or may not have done, and they let the law do what they need to do. Period. Now, I see something from Spartan X. If you want videos of last night's detention, I can give you a link to the family's Soup TV. Sure. You can email that to me. I don't know what that is. Interesting. I don't know what that is. But yeah, send it to me. Email it to me. You know what I mean? Maybe I'll do something a little bit later on. I don't know. My day is pretty packed and pretty full. But I wanted to jump on and show you guys this story because, like I said, it was a crazy series of events. They were arrested. They were definitely arrested. They were brought in. They were brought in a lot faster than I expected, and I'm really happy about that. But, you know, and they were brought in one piece. No one died. So I appreciate everybody for being on today. For those of y'all who are watching the show for the very first time, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Please, please, please. Working hard out here. Saw well over 1,000 souls on today. So please be sure to hit that like button as well. Okay? Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. And I'll be seeing you guys very, very soon. All right? You stay blessed and enjoy the rest of your weekends, y'all. And if anything pops off, I'll be on to talk about it. Okay? Much love to you guys. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll see you guys very soon. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.